wanted to ask you about your relationship with Željko Obradović. You guys have a very deep relationship. So would you like to tell us more about this?
Željko is great. I mean, I'm not the only one who say that. The memories that I have from Željko is connected to the 2 years that I played for Panathinaikos. Basically, I was injured in the second one, but that year was really special for me. The experience living in Greece, playing that high-level team. We were dominant and we won it in the end. It was a really special year for us. A great group of guys, a lot of friends, a lot of memories. Basically, it was my last year before I got injured, so I believe it also makes it more special for me. And Željko is, you know, you see Željko on the sideline, sometimes he looks like tough, but he's in the end he's a player's coach, and I learned a lot from Željko, how to like the commitment that he's asking from his players, and he show a lot of. He's a leader by example for me, and he knows how to separate things on and off the court, so that's really special.
Please, once more, let's welcome my colleague from Belgrade, from Arena Sport, Kristina Tomić.
Wow. Can you hear me? Yeah, what a great presentation, and I didn't pay him, guys. Trust me. So thank you for the presentation. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you the first time for me. And I'm super, super excited for the first panel. Okay, as you heard, I'm from basketball. And okay, well, I won't mention basketball too much, but forgive me if I will sometimes because it's harder than me. But when we think about sports is not only about athletes or coaches. The most important part of the sport are fans. And we're gonna talk about fan engagement and how to attract them more to the gym. And we're gonna talk about this with our guests. Actually, our not guests are the speakers. So Branimir Karačić from SofaScore. So Branimir, please, can you come? An applause for him. Thank you so much. After that, Darko Čošić from Adecco, the director. Please, a clap for him. And last but not least, Mitchell Hong, CEO and founder of Eclat Media Group. I need to read that, it's long. Hello, good morning. Well, before I start, I just need to say one thing, Mr. Hong. So, 안녕하세요. 잘 지냈어요?
I just found out she spent a year in Korea, and her Korean is quite good.
Yeah, it's quite useful, guys. Trust me, we're going to use that in the future a lot. So, gentlemen, I talk too much. It's time to hear you because we're here to hear you. So, I mentioned that before. That's a very important part of sports or fans, and it's extremely important to have them in the gym. So what do you think, how to engage fans in 2025 when everything is available, but actually is always a challenge? So, Branimir, you can start?
Yeah, why not? First and foremost, good morning to all. Like you said, people think it can get more easy because of all the opportunities that are on the market now, talking about technology, talking about communication, the availability to speak to the whole world at the same time. But that's the challenge, because picking what you have to do to engage your fans as best as possible is the tricky part, and then putting it into place, integrating it with your product, your service, is definitely challenging. And then, of course, on top of that, we're talking about approaching multiple generations at the same time, each generation with their own habits of how they use certain things. It's quite a challenge, but challenges are fun.
Yeah, Do you think like, okay, I will ask you maybe later, this is like something that pops in my mind. Do you think it's more difficult to work with younger generation, that they're this is more challenging?
They are more demanding.
Yeah.
The new generations, they know what they want, they know how they want it. It's the thing about recognizing those elements and being the first one to try to implement that. That's the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. So Darko, what do you think about like, how to engage fans?
Yeah. First off, thank you for having me here, and it's nice to see fresh faces here after yesterday. So I'm coming from Decod. We are mostly more familiar to the public through our B2C brand Ulaznice HR. For the last 20 years, we've been powering ticketing and membership for most of the sports clubs in Croatia, including the Football Federation and other federations in Croatia. What we see here is that the ticketing is basically evolving. We are moving from being just a purely tool to get fans through the door. Yeah. What we see is that the data that we are gathering through the ticketing and other services is the idea is we really need to start using it to drive engagement and to personalize offers, because there's a lot of data collection happening through all the services that are connected with sport clubs, but they are mostly in silos. And when you have a lot of data that is segmented in various different systems, you are not able to use it. And what we are basically doing is using the ticketing as a base to reach out to the fans, to provide them with the engagement and the services and the offers that they need. Just imagine going into a football match. Yeah. You come to the venue, and at the halftime you receive a specialized offer only for you, or on the web, in the web shop, or maybe on the food corner. Mm. It's something that builds long-term engagement with the fans, yeah. And it's not. It doesn't require them to do anything, because what we see with the younger generations, they do not want to spend time to find out something. Exactly. We really need to be very precise, very direct, and this is the only way to reach them. If we use the traditional methods that are, let's say, take longer time, we are not able to achieve the same results.
Yeah, I have one question. I will make an example. So in this moment, when it comes to basketball, we have a hype, let's say a hype in Serbia, Red Star and Partizan, and it's not a problem to sell tickets, because people ask me, what, can you get a ticket because it's sold out every time? But what's happening when you have the opposite scenario, when people are not coming, how to attract them, how to bring them back?
Yeah, this is the trickiest part. We are very fortunate to have our partners in sports that most of them do not have the problem of selling tickets. They can sell basically whatever how many tickets they are able to produce or how many people they are able to get there. Yeah. But in situations where there is not so much ticket sales happening, there are no quick solutions. You really need to start building the engagement. You need to start building loyalty. You need to start getting them interested through through all the channels that are available to you. And the ticketing part really needs to serve as a base that's going to cover that. Once you get a person on the ticketing side and start filling out the data, you immediately need to consider what is the next step, because selling the ticket is not the end game. It's not the result. Mm-hmm. The end result is to get the fans coming back and buying the tickets, spending money on web shops, using your loyalty, getting points and feeling that they are getting something in return. And that is the biggest part. And of course, it's also the let's say the hardest part, because you need to think ahead. Once you reach that point that you cannot sell all the tickets, it's too late. And you need to start thinking about that sooner. Currently, the major problem that I see is the segmentation of data. You have silos. Most of the clubs have loyalty, membership, ticketing, but those are all separate systems. The data is there. You can do the integration, but it's never the same as having everything available there and making the decisions and conclusions based on the data, not by just getting the feel of the fans. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So now, Michi, so your turn. Tell us, what do you think about that? How to engage fans? And you prepare something for us, right?
Yes. First of all, thank you very much, everyone, for inviting me. Looks like I'm the only representative from Korea or Asia even, perhaps. It's been a great experience of learning Croatia, country, culture, food, weather, everything's been great. Yes, I prepare a few slides to kind of go through the playbook since the topic was about the digital playbook. Create some simple slides to go over. Okay, I'm a founder and the chairman of Eclab Media Group, which with a service brand of Sport TV, where I started out from Korea as a rights agency back in 2004. So it's been 21 years since I started the business. I'm a beneficiary of a digital transformation because I started my media business in 2011. That's when I first launched, 2010 to be exact, launched my Sport TV brand in Korea. Then we did all the acquisitions of digital rights of that time. And thanks to the mobile device and all the digital expansion, our business grew. Then we expanded out to Japan. Now we are out in 16 countries in Asia. So we're talking about digital. This is the time of disruption, in a good way and a bad way. For legacy media, it's a troubled time. For some of the markets in Asia where terrestrials are not ready to accept the changes yet. But in US, looking at listening to what Pete has presented yesterday with all these successful programs of Champions League, still US market remains very strong in sports media market, having a very diverse vertical distribution through the legacy media to the new media, even to the commerce medias. So this is an exciting time, creating a lot of opportunities for different ideas. I think this was the special about this Sunset Sports Festival, because I'm used to going to the big media sales conference where everyone's talking millions and millions of dollars, but we're all there to sell. But here, I can hear about, even this morning, hear about sports data, statistics, fan engagement, and ticketing. So all different kinds of idea. It's possible because it's this time of digital disruption or the new rise of digital business. So fans are not just, they're not just watching. They're interacting, they're predicting, they're curating. There's so many to watch. So we're all competing each other. Who gets the eyeball of our consumers and audience is the fundamental answer that all have to make. Okay, so first topic was direct to the fan. That's everyone knows. Thanks to the digital platforms, technology, now we can go straight to the fans like everyone else is doing, ticketing, data, sports communities, and also the media. OTT is the primary window for premium contents, but it can also be a problem for some of the brands that needs to be promoted. Some of the rising new IPs and new sports contents also need some free space to distribute their content. So how do you distribute your content across the digital platforms on the free and to the premium it's a very good balance is required for a successful business. You can't just put everything behind the paywall, expect everyone to pay, which will not happen unless you have the premium contents. But at the same time, if you just show it on free, you'll have a lot of noise and virals, but if you don't know how to monetize it, then it's going to end there. So having a careful balance of allocating your contents across multiple platforms is very important in this digital space. AI is a topic for everyone. I think it's just such a broad term. So even for our business, we use AI to predict the analytics of how do we engage our fans and how do we keep them on retaining to our platform, to something small as generating some small articles, to the highlights. There's some great tools that are here. WCS is here today. I saw there's great AI tools that are available to improve your operations and save cost. So that's very exciting. And there are many smart applications that's possible due to using AI, betting, fantasy, ticketing, player tracking. This is all possible and can be enhanced with using AI. And I think we're in the very few years of this AI introduction. So it's what's going to come in the next 5 to 10 years. It's very exciting. Mm-hmm. Yes. Gamification and interactiveness is something the secondary window needs to do. You can't just have people watch sports games and pay attention throughout the game. You have to create more fun element to creating the interactiveness and screen experience for your fans. And to your point about bringing in younger fans and new fans, creating a synergy with esports, there's an esports event happening here as well, is a good way of connecting with young kids who are playing a lot of games, and how do you connect that to our traditional sports is also must thing to do and exciting thing to do. In Asia, last 2022 Asian game, there were 7 games played as official sports. Mm-hmm. So those games are televised across Asia. So esports is becoming a legitimate sport, despite what Pete has commented yesterday. But it's coming up quite strongly.
Mitch, give me just a sec. I will interrupt you for a second, but I would like to hear your opinion, guys, because he said create more fun for the audience, and the Koreans do that very good. I lived there for a year, and this is amazing how they are involved in fan engagement. So what do you think about all these things that Mitch said?
I mean, almost all of the things that he mentioned is something that we also do at SofaScore. We recognize...
What is the difference, Branimir? What is the difference between SofaScore and what they are doing in Asia? So can you compare that?
There's a lot of complementary things, I would say. It's not so much different from what you mentioned. AI, fantasy, ticketing also integrating. What has been mentioned here is something that we all focus on at the same time and try to see where, at what point to integrate it to provide the fans the experience they are eager to experience. Second screening, even third screening nowadays with the new generation has become very important. The young kids, they watch a game and they use all of their extra screens to see what else they can consume engagement-wise, and in that way upgrade their own experience. They are very active when it comes also to being involved in commenting on certain things, so you have to provide all those solutions to keep them focused and to keep them engaged and keep them on your platform. And all of these things that were already mentioned, it is definitely the way to go. It's not easy to do that, but the technology is here, and if you recognize that, I mean, we at SofaScore definitely have different approaches when we're talking about different markets. That's also a very important factor to count in, from localizing your product, because not each nation has the same way of consuming things, and the localization element is very important. And yeah, keep playing with it. There's no one-stop solution for everything. You have to play with things, test things out, analyze the data. That's also been mentioned as an important factor, because only having the data and not using it properly doesn't make sense. Analyzing it and then based on the data and analysis, improving certain things has become, I wouldn't say the most important thing, but one of the top things to do.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Darko, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say that the gamification part and the second screen part is becoming really important. Yesterday, I was in let's say informal talk, and I heard a really interesting story. A guy is watching a football game on his 77 OLED, and his kid, 12 years old, is right beside him, and he's watching the same game on his phone. And this is really important to understand. For me, as a 40 plus year old, it's really hard to understand why is this happening. But the key is that we need to treat the younger generations with the same respect that we expect that from them, and to provide them this content, but on their terms. So it really we need to emphasize on how we approach them and how to keep them engaged, being that on the big screen or the small screen. And to do that, we really need to have the data and we need to analyze it. And here, of course, AI is going to speed up things a lot, but it's not the only solution.
I mean, if I could just
sure.
We have also quite a unique example of how the younger generation are consuming things. Kids nowadays even don't watch games. They only look at the stats, and that's the topic of their conversation. They don't care about the game. They care about the stats, about the players, about the teams, and that's becoming a very interesting conversation point to them. I would never do that the way I was raised and the way I consumed all about sports is first focus on the game and then the rest. They do the other way around. Also a very interesting approach to be aware of and see how you can fit in that kind of thing.
Yeah, and also what we, sorry, I lost my...
Guys, we are wrapping up. We have little time, so Mitch, would you like to finish?
Okay, so I think Branimir and Darko is saying the same thing. It's not just about the content. That's the conclusion that I'm going to show next slide. But how you do it. This global, just to finish up this slide, there's all these nice global contents. It doesn't work unless you localize it. Localizing not just on the geography, but to the age group, gender, how serious about the game. There's a hardcore fans, there's a light casual fans, and also there are fans who are not the fans of that sports yet. But how do you interconnect with them? Like one of the examples that we did was hosting a lot of K-pop stars. If they like NBA, we bring them to our NBA games and they do the commentary. Or if they like Premier League, we bring them to the Premier League show and they commentary. So trying to bring those K-pop entertainment fans to our sports, to our brand, and also the sports that we present is something that we try to do. in the recent years to bring a lot of younger women fans into our audience group. This is a conclusion I wanted to make. It's not just about the contents, it's how it's created, the context around it, and connectivity with your fans, and how you control your data. So I think it kind of goes back to these two gentlemen talked about. AI and technology can help us to enhance our operation and efficiency, but that last mile is about that, how you do it, how you use that data to create your business and create new opportunity in the digital era. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk with you, gentlemen. Thank you, and an applause, please, for our first panelist. Thank you. Thank you so much.